Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Angie Stewart from MIA InnerLight, here live in Kardec Radio. Another Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. Very, very happy to have you with us. We have this study on a weekly basis. And if you're new, this is the book we are always studying, Among Brothers of Other Lands. It's a beautiful book. It's not very thick. There are lots of positive messages brought by many different spirits, including Emmanuel, André Luiz, many other spirits. And the mediums are Chico Xavier and Waldo Vieira. So we study this book around 45 minutes, and then we have this book. So this is the Gospel according to Spiritism. This is a very well-known book to all our friends who are Spiritists. It's very, very important for us. It's a book that brings a lot of consolation, a lot of peace, and help us, especially during this time of pandemic. Not easy. We are all going through different issues, and it's not easy to anyone. We all face different issues, but it's hard to all of us. So I don't know if tonight we have a new friend, we have a new guest. So tonight we are going to have our friend Daniela Stefanelli. I think Daniela is having some kind of problems because she's not connecting her camera back. Oh, I was like, where is Daniela? She disappeared.
Hi, Angela.
Very good. I was like, I have to call her.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna like bring me in, you know.
Yes, I was. Very good. So to the ones that don't know Daniela is a good friend. We lived together in New York, actually in Jersey City. We were in New Jersey. I moved to New Jersey in my last few years living in the area. And we met in Inner Enlightenment. Exactly. So I don't even know when. Do you remember which year we met? I don't remember.
It was probably 2015. No, not 2014.
2014? Wow. Yes. Wow. Yeah, you didn't have the twins. Now she has three girls. Three gorgeous girls. Not just three normal girls. Three gorgeous girls.
Thank you.
They look like the dolls. They're so cute.
When they're not jumping around.
Oh yeah, that's the other problem. So especially now with COVID time, that the mothers have to teach them. They have to schooling in the house, and not easy. I have friends who have to work from the house, and they have two little ones too, like one in kindergarten and other in pre-K. So it's like, full of energy. So yeah, it's requiring a lot of the parents nowadays. Not easy. But my friends, before Daniela goes to the room and I start, I just want to show you guys. This will be our new book. What is Spiritism? So it's a little bit thicker book. It's a fantastic book that every person who knows Spiritism or who would like to know Spiritism should read. And in reality, it's a book that very few people read in Spiritism. And it was a great book. This book was written right after the Spirit's book. Spirit's book was the first book of the codification. Later on came the Medium's book, but in between came this book. So this book is a summary of what is Spiritism, but it's also the point of view of Allan Kardec, talking to people that were against Spiritism and the people that were pro-Spiritism. But Kardec, being Kardec, not being Angie, he was so enlightened, and he could have a discussion with anyone that was absolutely against Spiritism. And these people were accusing Kardec, the person of Kardec, of horrible things. But in reality, they were angry with Spiritism, and they were transferring this negativity to the person of Kardec. Unfortunately, that's what usually happens until nowadays. If one person, if Angela says something that most of people don't agree, everybody gets angry with Angela and with Angela is saying, but not Kardec. Kardec never got angry, but he wanted to talk about the point the person did not understand or did not agree. And this book shows it so well, how he was able to separate it. And usually we are not really able to separate anything. We make like a salad. That's why he was Kardec. And, so this is really a very good book that most of people do not study. So I think it's going to be really good for us to be able to study. And as I said before, we will reserve around 20 minutes to have a study of the gospel. And I will have like 2 guests that will be helping me with the gospel. So it will be more interactive, it will be more exciting. And I can't wait for that, because COVID, we are far away from everybody. So at least here we can see each other.
Absolutely, yes.
So this is good. Thank you so much, Daniela, for being here. I'm so happy. Dani moved from New Jersey and she is in Florida. I'm bringing everybody.
I heard you bringing everyone to Florida, yes.
I'm bringing everybody. New York, you're coming. Super happy to have you here with us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
That's wonderful. So my friends, let's calm down now and let's do our initial prayer so we can start the study of tonight. Almighty God, at this moment we start another study. We just want to say thank you so much for your love, your energy, always guiding us, inspiring us, helping us to see the world a little bit better than what it is, helping us to overcome our struggles, our difficulties, especially now during this time of COVID, so much uncertainty and pain. Especially at this time, we ask you to inspire us, guide us, help all of us, me that I will be talking, the ones that will be listening, Dani who will be doing our final prayer. Please inspire all of us that all the enlightened spirits can approach us and transmit these good vibrations, even to our friends that are not listening it at this moment, but will be listening the recording later on. Please stay with us now and always. So be it. Very good. So, my friend Dani, I will see you in a few minutes.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, people, let's go. So, among brothers of other lands, we are almost finishing the book. That's super exciting. I love finishing books because it means I will start a new book. And I do this also in my private book reading. I love to read about history. I love to read about biographies. And there is actually something that I wanted to tell you. I was reading a book last week about the history of Brazil, 1888, history of Brazil. And in the middle of the book, I'm reading about the battles that happen in Brazil. They are so amazing. Not much people know in details about it, but so many battles happen. Brazil is a continental country, so you can imagine how difficult was for the Brazilians to keep Brazil united. not being totally divided as happening to many other nations. And during these battles, there were a battle in Bahia, north of Brazil. And the Portuguese were still trying to keep the state, and the Brazilians were already fighting. And then it mentions about the two first martyrs of Bahia. And one of the martyrs was Maria Angélica. And when I read about this, I remember Divaldo Franco, the medium, Divaldo Franco, telling us the history of his spiritual protector, his guardian angel, his inspiration. That's Joana de Angelis. And in one of her lives, she was Brazilian. And she was this woman. This woman was Maria Angélica. She was the, how can I say, the abadesa, do I say that? She was the head of a convent with many nuns. And the soldiers, the Portuguese soldiers, they wanted to break the doors to go inside. And of course, to rape the girls, to do horrible things. And she went outside and she said, no, you are not going to go in, only after I'm dead. Unfortunately, that's what they did. They killed her. So she was the first martyr of the Brazilian independence. So this was like, wow, even when I'm studying history, I see Spiritism in it. So this was super cool. But my friends, let's go. Let me just say hello. Hello, Matthew. Matthew was here with us too. And Nora Brazil also. Very nice to see you guys here. Let me start. The chapters are not very long, so it's good. We can go in details in it. And this one is very beautiful. It's a very positive message. So chapter 38, the title is Labor and Keep Faith. And the spirit is Ernest O'Brien, and the medium is Chico Xavier. Where love is, God is. And where love is, joy is. The highest spirits of life are in harmony with the great design for living. If our way is troublesome and obscure, God's love gives us strength and guidance within. Do you believe in immortality? Then be of good cheer. Believe it or not, you live in the beyond, even as you live in your earthly body. Pessimistic man likes to choose his eyes to shut out the light and visualize in darkness. In the world, you have pain and tribulation, but God is on your side. You do not work alone. You know this. A problem becomes difficult only when you suppose it is hard. Visualize a definite goal, exactly what you want to do. Believe in yourself. Help yourself. When we accept God's blessings, life abounds with peace and happiness within us and around us. If you make mistakes, begin again. Be constructively self-critical. Do not disturb yourself. Carry with you joy and strike out ahead. Keep an open mind. Your thoughts are important, very important. There is no darkness with power over light. God speaks to you through voices of a good conscience. Be calm, but be active. Do not waste time. Be a volunteer who acts, who gives and receives. Be sure of your effort and give your complete attention to accomplishing it. Help, and you will be helped. Earthly life is a school. In it, there is a lesson for each of us. Be tranquil, labor, and keep faith in God. July 12, 1965, New York City, United States. Oh my goodness, beautiful message. This is the message that we all need, you know. This is a message of encouragement, a message that really helps us boost our energy. And then, you know, in this time of COVID, we need it. We need it a lot. Even when we think we are totally fine, it's good, we still need it. So let's read little by little. And guys, if you are watching it on Facebook, I cannot see you. I cannot see your names. I only can see if you write something. So if you're there and if you want to ask a question or make a comment, just write something so I will be able to read it. So let's go sentence by sentence. This is short and we have time. So where love is, God is, and where love is, joy is. So beautiful sentence, piece of cake. The thing is that we would like to be living like this every day. We would like to be living in this love, in this joy. So we would be always connected with the enlightened spirits. But what happened is like living in Earth right now. We don't have this wonderful time all the time. We have our good days, we have our bad days, we have issues, and we oscillate. You know, it's very normal for us to be upset, and then we pray, we have something good happening, and we feel good again. So one day we will be able to live in a little bit more in the middle way. This Tuesday, I was doing the gospel at home with my son, and so my gospel has a lot of books. So I do almost 1 hour. So I study lots of books together. I study the Old Testament. I studied the Spiritist Review. We are studying right now the one of 1858. And I also study, what's the other book? There is another book that I like to study, and of course the gospel. So this week when we were studying the Spiritist Review, if you have the opportunity, buy it. The Spiritist Review are all the Spiritist meetings, all the mediumistic meetings that Kardec ever had with all the mediums he used to be together. There was a set of mediums that he was always together because these were the ones who he was getting all the important answers for the codification. But he also went to many different groups. He went to many different groups asking very strong questions. Kardec never asked, "And I'm gonna get a millionaire tomorrow." Nah. So his questions were really questions about the future, questions about how is life after death, questions that really could bring some important knowledge to us. Anyway, so in these meetings, when I was talking to my son, we were studying the gospel, and then I don't remember exactly what was, but the Spirit was talking about in the future when we are able to live in more enlightened planets. And then he was like, my son loves science. He's absolutely in love with science. And then I told him, yes, and there are a huge amount of difference between the planets of our solar system. And he's like, really? How? So I took the Spiritist Review 1858. If you have the book, there is a chapter, a whole chapter that talks about life in other planets and how are the other planets. So these spirits, they give a whole description of every single planet of our solar system and how is life there. So it's super interesting. And you have to know that the most enlightened planet in our solar system is Jupiter. Jupiter is the most enlightened one. And there's where many spirits, many missionaries who came to Earth, and we were like in disbelief with these people, they came from Jupiter. For example, Mozart. And Mozart gives few interviews in this magazine of 1858. So the spiritists review that Kardec created for many years. I don't remember how many years. The FAB, the Brazilian Federation of Spiritism in Brazil, codified this in a series of books per year. Kardec used to publish this monthly. I believe it's monthly. So they put all together in years. So we have 1858, 59, 60, and I don't remember how many they finally did. But it's extremely interesting. It's really interesting, and it gives an idea how were the meetings that Kardec used to participate. So it's really like super interesting. And I think next week I will bring this little piece that talks about the life in Jupiter, because it's so different, and it's really like, wow. I remember studying with my son, and he was like, wow, I want to live there. And I said, well, me too, just because of the beautiful dresses the spirits have, have this nice hair, everything, every day. I'm like this because I just arrived from the hairdresser. That's why I'm here. As soon as the heat waves arrive, it's going to be terrible again. And the second is Saturn. I'm not sure about Saturn. Saturn is also very elevated. They don't have exactly this, and this, but they say this and this are this and that are that. And I'm not sure if Saturn is the same level of Jupiter. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit less. But Jupiter is the fantastic paradise place to live. But of course, the spirits also, they describe this is in our solar system. There are other planets in different systems that are much more elevated than what we could ever imagine. Just for you to have an idea, the spirits there, their perispirit, I'm not talking about physical body. No, their perispirit is so elevated. It's very ethereal. So it's something that we can't really understand. We're like, for us, our perispirit is ethereal. But no, by what they describe, our perispirit is pretty much heavy, pretty much solid. So yes, Matthew, but can you believe before I studied, I always thought Saturn was the more elevated of all of them, because for me, Saturn is the most beautiful of all of them. But yes, Jupiter, one of the biggest ones, is also the most enlightened one. So let's continue. The highest spirits of life are in harmony with the great design for living. If our way is troublesome and obscure, God's love gives us strength and guidance within. So this means, like, if we are in trouble, if we're having difficulties, if we're seeing life not that good, so God gives us strength and guidance within. So strength, we have like that boost of energy that sometimes comes from nowhere. And guidance, we are always guided. We have a guardian angel with us all the time, helping us to see things in a little bit better way. What happens is that when we are not feeling good, we kind of shut down. We don't see, we don't hear, we get connected with our pain, and we don't see anything else. That's why it's so difficult for our guardian angels to communicate with us when we are in this level of negativity. That's why every time you think you're not doing good, stop one moment and just, please, God, help me to get out of this darkness. I need to see the end of the tunnel, and the help will come. What happens is that we never take the time to do it. We get so busy, 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 busy. We never take 1 minute to do this prayer. That's the problem. Do you believe in immortality? Then be the good cheer. Then be of good cheer. Believe it or not, you live in the beyond, even as you live in your earthly body. So this is good. You live in the beyond. We are living at this moment here. But even the people that do not believe in immortality, even the people who say that, no, I don't believe it, when we die, nothing happens, and they are materialistic, because that's what they just believe in, the material. When this material he dies, everything dies. Deep inside, they still think maybe there is something. And there are many different types of materialistic people. There is the ones who say they don't believe just because they never found the answer. There are the ones that are rebel. They like to say, I don't believe, because they are angry about something. And yes, there are the minority that really believes that nothing, absolutely nothing will happen after death. It will be just like disappearing. But I'm so happy we are here is because we believe there is something in the other side, and that's why we are trying to improve ourselves. We are trying to improve our morality, because when you don't believe, it's much harder for you to try to be good, because if you don't believe in anything, why are you going to try to improve? It's like it's strange. But when you believe that when you do good, you receive good. If you are a good person, when you cross to the other side, because there is another side, you will be well received. You are going to be with spirits that are similar to you. So this is like, is almost like gives us hope. Because if you think I cross the street, a car go over me, and everything disappears, it's like so weird. It's like it's hard. It's hard for me to think like this. But there are people that think like this. In fact, I know such a person. Yeah, we all know those. I know few of those. And for example, my father-in-law, he was not a materialistic. He was a Protestant, and he was such a loving soul. He was just such a loving person. But I always like to joke with him. I always told him, when you cross to the other side, you will come back and say hello to me. And he was like, oh, stop with this. No ghosts, no ghosts. He was always like joking. And yes, he crossed to the other side and he came. So I was super excited when I saw him. I was like, ah! So excited. I was so excited that I wanted to jump and hug him and kiss him. And of course, unfortunately, we can't. But I was so happy that he came to say hello. This was super exciting. Okay, pessimistic man, like, my goodness, time flies. I talk too much. Pessimistic man likes to close his eyes and shut out the light and to visualize in darkness. This is a pessimistic person. So likes to shut down the light and see things in the dark. The positive person opens the curtain. It's almost like when a person is going in depression. If you know someone going in depression or living in depression, you will start seeing the signs. The person closes the curtains, stay in bed until very late, many times switch the night for the day, sleeps the whole day and is awake at night when the majority of people are sleeping. So this could be also a tendency to depression, not just a pessimistic, but it could also be a tendency to depression. So we have to be careful. If we notice this behavior with someone that we love, it's important that we talk to this person. Maybe this person needs to see a doctor, needs to understand why you start behaving like this. So maybe it's really some kind of hormonal thing that is changing. And we also can help with prayers. We can also help with prayers. We can put the name of this person in a spirit center where a lot of people will pray for this person. But of course, if it's a medical, this person needs to see a doctor to help him or her. So in the world, you have pain and tribulation, but God is on your side. You do not work alone. You know this. So we know we are never alone. Chico Xavier is the one who always told us, whatever you are doing, there is a cloud of testimonies. A cloud of testimonies. So when you think about this, it's kind of scary, you know. You think like, my God, a cloud of testimonies, they are everywhere looking at me, whatever I'm doing. Not exactly like this, because there are certain moments in our lives, depending of how we live our lives, that there is privacy, you know. It's amazing when we read the books of André Luiz and we read about the reincarnation of spirits. Many times when the couple is going to receive the spirit, they have to have the sexual encounter so the spirit can be connected to the spermatozoid and the egg. But at that moment, the spirits that are responsible for this, they are not in the bedroom. They are not there like looking at everything. No. They are outside, respecting the privacy of the couple. What is really amazing is like, wow. But yes, there is a respect to our privacy. So when also we say that our guardian angel is with us all the time, don't think that when you're in the bathroom, yes, in the bathroom, your guardian angel is there because he's not. He is not. But we are connected through the thought. The thought is like a split second. As soon as we think something that we need help, he or she is there to help us. And of course, it's not that every second that he will be with us, like, oh, I don't know where I put my pink pen. Your guardian angel is not going to come to help you with your pink pen. So you try to search for the pink pen and yourself. But if there is something that is troubling you, I don't know what I'm going to say to that person that I don't like. At that second, your guardian angel will be right there because it's important. He wants to protect you. He wants to guide you and inspire you to be better. So if you are already nervous, if you are thinking you're going to have a fight or something that's already not good, boom, he is right there trying to help you. And that's when we have to really to be able to listen. So we can listen to our guardian angel and improve. So instead of fighting, we will exercise our forgiveness. We will try to be a little bit more understanding. We will calm down. So things that little by little will come a little bit more natural, that many times are not natural to us. So a problem becomes difficult only when you suppose it is hard. Visualize and define goal. Exactly what you want to do. Believe in yourself. Help yourself. When we accept God's blessings, life abounds with peace and happiness within us and around us. So this is beautiful. So the first sentence, a problem becomes difficult only when you suppose it is hard. You know, when we start really we start destroying ourselves. Oh no, it's very difficult to find a new job. It's almost impossible. All the jobs pay even worse than my own job. Oh, right now, because of COVID, it will be totally impossible to find a job. So you start destroying your own possibilities. Yes, maybe it is difficult, maybe it's a little bit hard, but if that's your attitude to whatever you're doing, you are already destroying your own possibilities. So we have to do exactly like the believe in yourself and help yourself. So you are unhappy at your job, so you need to search for something with a positive way. You know, it might be difficult to find a job right now, but I will get it. I will find it. And, you know, do your part. I already said many times here that some people want to find a new job, but they don't want to search for it. They want the job to come, the job to fall on their heads. It's impossible. For example, my son, my teenager son, he needs to do community hours because this is one of the requirements when you're going to apply for a college. The colleges, they ask, what did you do? What type of community service did you do? Who you help? How? When? How many hours? This is important to anyone in America that's trying to go to a college. And I keep telling him, but it's almost like he's expecting this community hours to fall on his head. And I said, if you don't search for it, it's not going to come. So, of course, I have to help. It's almost like I have to take him and like, go. It is hard. So yes, I started searching everywhere, asking to so many people. And then I found a really good place, not far from us, involved in wonderful cause. They provide water sports to kids with physical deficiencies and also for kids from communities that would never be able to afford something like that. So it's beautiful, but it's super organized. So I wrote, the lady told me, yes, we do have a program here, but I really like what she said. She said, ask your son to get in touch with me, and then I will tell him how to do it. I was like, that's awesome. Because, of course, the mother is searching. So she's like, the teenager wants to do it, or is the mother who is forcing the teenager to do? This was absolutely perfect. So I told him, I said, you write to her. So I forwarded her email and I said, you write to her because she wants you to demonstrate you want to do it. But of course, exactly like nowadays, when you are searching for a job, if you never search for a job, let me give you a tip because I already changed jobs many, many times. So nowadays, in the past was not like this, but nowadays it is. If you're searching for a job, you got an interview appointment to go to a job interview. It's extremely important you search for the company. You have to understand what the company does, what type of business, when they started, what's their revenue. You have to understand the most possible. So when you go to the interview, and there is always that final question that when they like to say, is there anything else you would like to know from me? And most of the people say, no, thank you, it's good. That's not good. You have to ask something intelligent about the company. So you have to do your homework. So I told him, go to the website, research exactly what they do, and then you will write to her already knowing what it is. So that's what he did. He went to the website and then he discovered the volunteering there is extremely structured. You have to really understand how to deal with the different types of deficiencies. You have to know how to maneuver a wheelchair. You have to know first aid. So it's a lot of things. So you have to fill up these 3 classes to be able to start a program. So I was super excited when he discovered all this. And I told him, now you write to her that you saw the requirements and you would like to know how to be able to start fulfilling the requirements. So this was very good. And then he wrote to her a very nice professional email. So I was like, whoa, this was good. So I am actually expecting her answer. She did not answer yet, so I'm expecting her answer. So let me see if you guys said anything here, because forget to pay attention. Hello, Saul, my friend. I see you here. So what you said, let me just bring it here. So Saul said, I hope I will be able to hug my guardian angel when I get to the other side. Yes, are you kidding me? I will hug him, kiss him. You will suffer with me. Teresa said, encouragement needed. Yes, my friend, this text is very beautiful, brings us lots of wonderful things. So, me too. Maybe we don't have to wait. What are you talking about? To crossing the other side? Wait, calm down. I want to cross well to the other side, but not now. Okay, not now. Let's go later. Let's do like Divaldo Franco. He's 93. He said, I still can stay here a little bit well, a little bit good to hug our guardian angels. Yes. Let's do like this. Let's tell our guardian angels to come, and then they come when we're sleeping. So then we hug them right here. We don't need to cross. We're too young to cross. No, nobody crossing right now. Okay, nobody crossing right now. So let me see where I stopped. Oh, so I read this. Okay, let's do the last part. If you make mistakes, begin again. This is beautiful. Lots of people have that thing. They make a mistake. Oh, my life is terrible. I did that. I suffer. I can't. I'm full of remorse. Oh, Chico Xavier always told us to. If you made a mistake in the past, this is in the past. So you will start anew. The same thing, you fell. Don't stay on the floor crying because you're hurting. Stand up and tell yourself, I will pay more attention to don't fall so often. That's how we have to be. We have to help ourselves. We have to be positive. We have to be strong. Although the vicissitudes, difficult word of a spiritist, the hard times of life will be harder. But that's what we always say. When we are doing something for Jesus and with Jesus, things get easier. So our lives are not easy. We are in a planet that is still really not doing that wonderful. We are still feeling like trials and expiations. One day we will feel like regeneration. But right now it's like this. That's what we have. But when we analyze ourselves, and that same thing when you see the bottle of water, and instead of saying, imagine if it was really on half, instead of saying it's half empty, no, say it's half full. See things in a more positive way. Yes, we are during COVID time. Things are still in lots of places in a lot of social distancing. Life is different, but every day we wake up, we can see the sun. I have a group on a small group on WhatsApp, like my friends here. We exchange lots of beautiful messages. I have a friend that loves to post pictures of flowers that he takes in his garden. So it's almost like a boost of energy. I wake up, I take my phone, and I see that gorgeous flower. It's like, it's a boost of energy. So we have to see what brings you some positiveness, because even amongst the worst things, we can always have this boost of energy. And if you don't feel this alone, try to do like us, for example. Like I find this simple group of WhatsApp really a boost of energy. We have Saul here that she's always putting the morning prayers of Vanessa Anceloni. I don't have time to go to Facebook in my mornings. But I listen what Saul puts there for us. Teresa likes to share beautiful messages. So we can always do something together. If you are not doing good, join a group. If you want to come to our WhatsApp group, let me know and I put you there so you feel this boost of energy every day. So let's continue. Keep an open mind. This is so important. Keep an open mind. Wait, did I read this? I didn't even finish. Be constructively self-critical. Do not disturb yourself. Carry with you joy and strike out ahead. Keep an open mind. Your thoughts are important, very important. That's what I was talking about, our thoughts. If you keep negative thoughts, you will start building this negative energy. So switch your thoughts. Keep positive thoughts. Even when something negative comes and they say, oh, I will never get a job. Yes, you will. You will. Calm down. You will get something. But maybe not at that moment, but be strong and you will be able to get it. So there is no darkness with power over light. God speaks to you through voices of a conscience, of a good conscience. Be calm, but be active. Do not waste time. Be a volunteer who acts, who gives and receives. That's the point. You are a volunteer. You are going to give, but you are always going to receive. So whenever we are giving something, when we are giving our love, when we are helping, you will be receiving automatically. Even if the person you are helping is not giving you this love or this good vibrations, because there is an angry person or the person has problems. But the spirits who are trying to help that person, or other people who see this, they will be giving you some positive feedback and some loving vibrations. This is important. So earthly life is a school. In it, there is a lesson for each of us. Be tranquil, labor, and keep faith in God. It's beautiful. This is super powerful message. And that's how it is. You know, life on earth is not a piece of cake, but we will go over it beautifully, especially if we are together, if we have the little dosage of positive energy, if you have good friends, a good family. So you can always get this little boost of energy. Focus on what is beautiful and what is positive. Look at the sky. Here in Florida, we always have the sun. It's so beautiful. We can always see something that brings this positiveness to us. So, my friends, we have such a short time, but we have to go to the gospel. And we are in chapter 9. The title is Blessed Are the Meek and Peace Loving. And today we are going to talk about the affability and meekness. So affability is this loving people. They are very that type of people that you like to be friends with, because it's such a person that is like so sweet. You're like, oh, so nice. You get like that. I get like that. And the meekness are those people who are docile. They are calm. They are the ones we were talking last week, because the message from Jesus last week was saying that his world was of the ones who are meek. And we know that this world, the physical world right now, is really of the strong ones, the violent ones. But when we go to the spiritual realm, the ones who are actually docile, and many times they really go through a lot of pain while they're living here, they are the ones who are really be enjoying a better life. And as Jesus said, one day the meek will be the kings of this world, because we will all understand that the violence, hatred, and negativity will not bring us anywhere, will bring us to a lot of unhappiness when we cross to the real life, that's the spiritual life. So Teresa Castro. Oh, I love you girls. You're so sweet. You are the affable and the meek in our group. So I'm gonna read because it's so short, and then we can comment. So number 6, benevolence towards one's fellow beings, the fruit of love toward one's neighbor, produce the affability and meekness that are its manifestation. However, one must not always trust in appearances. Good manners and worldly skill can lend the veneer of such qualities. How many there are whose feigned good nature is no more than an outward mask, a garment whose premeditated form covers up hidden deformities. This is so true. So on earth right now, it's not that we can always believe in this, because a lot of people are like actors and actresses. They are smiling, they are so happy, they pretend to be such a sweet people. They tell you lots of great things, and many times when you turn your back, they start like gossiping about you and telling horrible things. Unfortunately, many times this happens. So it's hard for us. It's hard for us to be able to build trust, to build. How can we really know who is a trustworthy person, who is not? So this is something for us to think about. This is also why the people on earth, the ones that are really rich or famous, it's so hard for them to know people, to really have friends, because they're like, imagine, they are rich, they are powerful, they are famous. A lot of people want to become friends with them because they will be invited to go to places with them, so they can start becoming famous like them. And that's what they say. They don't know who to trust, who they can believe. It's very hard. I can just imagine, like, if I start thinking how would be my life if I was famous like that? It would be really difficult, especially because I like to befriend everybody. Imagine. For me, it's easy because I'm a nobody. So I befriend everybody and it's awesome. But when you are really powerful, you start thinking, this person really likes me, or like what I have, or like what I can bring to that person, to give to that person. So that's hard for them. So at this point, I'm so happy I'm not famous, I'm not rich and powerful, because it's a less one problem for me. So the world is full of such individuals who have a smile on their lips and venom in their hearts, who are meek as long as nothing angers them, but who bite back at the least contrariety, whose silver tongue, wow, whose silver tongue, when they speak to your faces, changes into a poison arrow when they speak behind your back. So that's exactly what you said, what I said. They smile, they're sweet, but they become this snake that can poison you when you turn your back. To this class beyond, also the men and women who seem benign on the outside, but who are really domestic tyrants, making their family and subordinates suffer the weight of their pride and despotism as thought wanting to get even for the restraints imposed on them elsewhere. Wow. Not daring to use their authority on strangers who would put them in their place. They want at least be feared by those who cannot resist them. Wow. So these are the tyrants in their homes, you know. Many of these husbands who are tyrants to the wives, and if you guys are seeing the news, during the pandemic time, a lot of women, they suffer brutal attacks, and a lot of women were murdered too, because that violent husband that she used to see for a few hours a day because he used to spend the whole day out, now he is the whole day in the house. So it's much more difficult to live with this type of person. So it's very difficult. So these are the tyrants in their home. And as I said here, they do not do this to strangers who might put them in their place, who are going to say, hey, no, you're not going to do that. But to their home, to their wives, to their kids, to their employees, who knows? They are doing this to them. It's hard for them. So that their vanity rejoices rejoices at being able to say, here, I command and obeyed. That's what they say. Here I command and I am obeyed, without thinking that they could very well add, and I am detested. Because that's like what it is. You command, you are obeyed, but you are detested. People detest you. So this is not just for husbands, but for anyone, for bosses, like the type of boss that arrives in an office and everybody's terrified of him because he does like his show in front of everybody. So he is obeyed, but everybody detests him anyway. So the final part of the message: it is not enough for lips to flow with milk and honey, because if the heart does not do the same, it's hypocrisy. Those whose affability and meekness are not feigned never contradict themselves. They are the same both in the world and at home. Furthermore, it is said that even if we are able to fool others by appearances, we do not fool God. This is a message from Lazarus, Paris, 1861. So that's exactly what they're saying. If you are able to fool every single person, you can never fool God. So whatever bad things they are doing, whatever bad things we are doing, God knows, and we also know. So that's why it's important for us to really start improving ourselves little by little. If we can do it a little bit faster, it's better. Let's improve ourselves while we are here, not when we go to the other side. And now we have our friend Daniela here back with us. Daniela, it was great to have you with us. I hope
Thank
you
you.
can participate more often. You have to put the girls to sleep early. So 9 o'clock, you are free,
My
set.
dream, my dream.
I know it's hard with 3 little ones. It is hard. Okay, my friends. So now let's have our friend Daniela doing our final prayer, and then we can talk a little bit afterwards.
All right.
So, Daniela.
Let's close our eyes. Let's all elevate our thoughts. Dear God, beloved Master Jesus, our spiritual guides, thank you so much for this study tonight. Thank you for bringing us all together here to learn all these teachings. Please, God, help us absorb all these learnings and practice them in our daily lives. Help us to apply these teachings towards our betterment as human beings and also for our spiritual improvement. Please, God, keep sending your strength to all the people who are suffering right now during these hard times we're in. If people need food or a shelter or a job, if they are sick or if they have lost a loved one, bring them peace, bring them hope, and never let them lose their faith. Help us all to be compassionate towards the brothers and sisters who are suffering. God, thank you so much for the week ahead of us, another week with health, with our family and our friends surrounding us. Thank you so much. So be it.
So be it. Very good. Beautiful. Very beautiful message, Daniela. Thank you so much. It was
Thank you.
powerful. Helped all of us to close the study with this good vibration.
Have some energy for the week.
Yes, exactly. Especially during this COVID time, we need to have positive energy. We need to have good vibrations. It is not easy. Even if little by little we are coming back, but it is still hard. Today, a friend of mine from New York, I told you before,
Yes.
she came here, so we went out for dinner. That was the
Amazing.
first time I went out for dinner since March. I was so excited to be on the streets. I was so excited to sit out in a restaurant, like, this is such a blessing.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we will value more
no,
after
it's
that.
like COVID is really changing. Will be a new reality,
Yes.
and we will really appreciate things that we always took for granted. Like the next time we can really hug someone and be like, "Oh my God!"
Absolutely. Yes.
So this is awesome. My friends, thank you so much for all of you that are always here with us. Please get my virtual hug wherever you are. I already miss you all. I wish you all could move to Florida. Joking. I know I can't do that. But I will see you all next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Mwah! Thank you so much. Have a great end of week, everybody.
Thank
See
you.
you soon,
Bye.
Dani.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Awesome.